What's up, guys? This is Ninja. Oh shit. 1 second. I just realized I'm naked. Fuck. Sorry about that. I don't mean. So basically, I don't wear the beanie because the beanie makes me fucking hot. And so I take it off, and I'd rather be dressed when I'm talking to you guys because I feel you deserve it. That's weird. It's just. Watch. Spirit Mom. And the light grows. Anyways, I'm not gonna have the camera on me very long, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I don't wear the beanie very much because I get hot, so I apologize for being naked. But I have a video for you. It's called Charlie Kirk Keeps Getting Removed, or Charlie Kirk video that keeps getting removed off of several platforms. It's by George B. Tonks, who has 3,000 subscribers. And this video got about 2.3 million views in 6 days, 14,000 comments. So that tells you that a good 2 million of them were bots, and 300,000 probably bots, right? Because most people will say something, right? They should. Um, then again, I don't know. On the right, no. On the left, yes. Because people on the right tend to fall in line more. People on the left are more likely to question that line. That's why America's still standing today. Is because of that line. The right fell in line when Trump took over. That's what Lindsey Graham, Jeff Sessions, and Mitch McConnell. Uh, let me pull my paper. Oh, that's right. It's actually closed. I should leave it open, huh? Yeah, probably should just leave it opened. But yeah, it's called The Downfall of America. Paul Ryan, Steve Bannon, Jeff Sessions, Lindsey Graham, John Kennedy, Jim Jordan, Pete. Anyways, I have this list. If you want it, let me know. But the point is that they're bad, and they're using this war that we're in and this problem. And this is why you need to be careful when you create rules and regulations or remove rules and regulation, because it may seem like a good idea to you, like maybe that may work, and to them they see like, hell yeah, if we do this then we can destroy America. Basically, you need to understand you may not see the whole picture. What you see may only be just a room in a mansion. You may only be seeing the trees instead of the forest. You know what I'm saying? And so you need to speak to somebody like myself, who knows a lot, who has a lot of wisdom, basically, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to point out to here, because they painted this guy as some dude that was capable, right? But watch. Hold on. There you go. So I had to be careful because I almost showed you the hard right government. No, it's the Israeli hard right government. Beyond that, I don't know if he cut and pasted or whatever, but this is that's literally as beginning as there is. All right, so he's in the middle of saying something. So this is taken out of context. So be careful with it. he smiles and laughs because that's kind of what he wants to. He's like, yeah, they're doing that, yeah, yeah, you know what I mean? And some of you may or may not get it, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna. That's it. That right there. My pattern recognition, like he is some wizard, but in reality, he's just a kid. Like this pattern recognition, these patterns, they're not subtle. Like anybody could see them. He's about to list what these patterns that he recognizes are. Now you tell me which one you missed. Did you miss COVID? Did you miss it? I don't think so. Next one. Did you miss the Maui fires? I didn't know about them personally. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot, but beyond, we'll save it. Save it. Was that under the radar? No. Did you catch it? Good. You're just as good as sharp as Charlie Kirk. Good job. Our guts. You see, I changed to it went from my pattern recognition to our guts. Yeah, exactly. Because it's not your pattern recognition, it's our pattern recognition. You are basically the embodiment of everyone else that's ignorant, essentially. And in that group, there are smart individuals that you should listen to. But through you, they're circumventing the smart people. Because of Charlie Kirk, people like me are drowned out. I make sense. Actually see. I actually have a radar when it comes to things. Like he didn't mention, for example, I'm sure a lot of people caught on to this one. Um, what's it? Oh, there's the tariffs, basically, right? Like I'm sure a lot of people knew about the tariffs as a thing. He didn't mention that. That's an example of why you shouldn't trust him to call them all out for you because he's biased too, right? Whereas me, I will call everything. It's in my information. It's been for years. I haven't updated or changed it, right? Um, basically, I'm honorable. Basically, I value tradition. Like I'm a conservative to the heart. I'm so conservative, basically, that I am blue. Believe it or not, once upon a time, conservatives used to be blue. That's how conservative I am. I'm the old conservative party. That's how conservative I am, right? And so now I'm blue, and I seem like I'm um, what's it called, liberal or um, I can't think of the fucking. I have a problem with remembering, so forgive me. If you watch previous videos, you will know that I had a brain tumor and I had a stroke and I had surgeries and whatnot. So remembering is not my cup of tea. But being like as far as living, for the moment, I'm king. Right, I am the supreme cheese when it comes to that shit. I go for the fucking throat, the artery. I have canines. Like you can't see them. Let me show shit. Forgot I was even in this fucking. Go ahead and forgot I was even on that, but see, I can't really see it, but yeah. Anyways, basically, I have canines, right? I have some sick canines, and the reason why is because I was like that as a kid. I was alpha. I was a predator. I would fight. I would choke people. I would fight people. I'd go for bitches, but it was in protection, right? If I seen somebody fucking with somebody else, I would walk up to them, grab the back of their shirt, and pull them off, and like, leave them alone. I mean, I would do shit like that, like just because. And not because I want to get pussy or I want to get laid or I want this guy as a president. I'm gonna protect him and try to butter him up. No, there was no middleman, no pretense, no game, no background, no bullshit. It just that's who I was. That's how I was alpha as fuck when I was a kid, right? Bitches loved me, right? Bitches loved me. Anyways, and I had a lot of fucking haters and manipulators, and they would lie, cheat, and steal. And so I would forget something, and they would intentionally just drop it because they were losing. So they would drop it, and that fucked me up because I'd be like, what were we talking about again? No, it don't matter. And then it did because they were wrong. This was their out, and so they took it. That's the people I was surrounded by, and that's why my life fucking sucked. So, anyways, real quick, I want to point out that's an edit. So he said something that they didn't want you to see. That's what happened. So as bad as this video is, it was actually supposed or initially worse. And so that's about where I stopped because as we have seen, he's not very smart, but he is trusting his insight and wisdom and his gut to make decisions, but he's not smart. He sees the room, but not the house. He sees the trees, but not the forest. The problem is there are people in charge, right? The rich, they see the forest and they use that forest to pay so that he focuses on the trees and they pay him or they influence him so that more people are drawn to him so that more people go to him and then they view what he views. Now everyone is seeing the trees instead of the forest. And while that's going on, the rich are taking from the forest. They're destroying it. Their little girls are being raped and harvested. Everything is going that you can think of is going wrong because people like him are leading you instead of people like me. Where I'm a whale biologist. I calls them like I sees them, right? Not really. It's a Futurama joke, right? The whale biologist from Futurama, right? But literally, I'm honorable to a fault. That's my account. I don't remember if I finished that thought, but that's what it says. I'm honorable to a fault. Literally. Like I would have been like Mike Tyson or Michael Jordan, basically, if I had the coach that they did, right? But because I did not, instead I had a coach like Charlie Kirk, I had shitty people, right? Leading the way is my point. And I'm not saying like my mom was all bad. She was very, very good when it came to being a mother, right? But as for being a parent, not so good, right? She's a good mother, not a good parent, and that the division actually makes sense. And ladies, if you have kids, you will know what I'm talking about. Dads will know what I'm talking about. Kids may not know. They it's a female. Who cares? No, there's a woman between a mother and a parent. There's a difference between even a woman before she has a kid and after she has a kid, right? So, anyways, um, and one conservative thing that people like to try to say, I was like, oh, a woman is just a woman and that's it. That's true. But if you're dumb, that's all there is to it. If you're smart, you know there's levels. Everything, the universe, everything depends, right? It depends. There's always details to everything. Even if you don't know it, there are details. Even if you don't want it to be, there are details. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. So you may think a woman is just the letter A. That's it, right? But like I said, there's woman, and then there's a mother, and then there's parent, and then there's like an adult parent or teenage parent, and then adult parent. You know what I'm saying? And now there's grandparent. So, and I'm sure there's more levels beyond that even, because that's how life works, right? Like, and that's why basically we're putting out like trans and gays and lesbian and how there's LGBTQ and blah blah blah, and how, and yes, they do deserve rights, and yes, they are people, and yes, blah blah blah. The point is, again, just because you don't know doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means that they're suffering, right? And we're expanding because we're learning. And like I said, there's more steps to it, even if you don't want there to be. Okay? So, anyways, that's the point. That was the video. That was the idea. I hope you guys learned from it. But, anyways, be well, be happy. Be safe, be awesome. God bless. Take care. Godspeed. Praise Allah. Praise the Yevon. The Final Fantasy X God. But yeah, my fangs, I aim for the jugular, bitch. I just go for the neck. Just like, just bite into the neck. And that's it. Right? I have fucking fangs like a mother. Because I'm like a dog. But I'm like a housebroken dog in a sense. Like, I don't, like, you know, when you get a dog and you teach him, like, not to pee on the carpet. Well, I'm that dog who I'm not afraid to pee on the carpet. I will. If need be, I will. Right? But I don't because I know that it sucks and it's annoying to deal with and I don't want it. Just like you don't want it. Right? We both don't want it. So I don't. Because I don't want pee on my floor. Just like I don't want to pee on your floor, right? That's the same thing, right? There is no it's not my floor. I get that, but I call it my floor because I'm using it. It's my floor, just like in America, it's my land, but in reality, it's America's land. It's just that I bought the rights to use it. It's just like buying a skin in League of Legends. It's my land, but at the end of the day, it's America's land. You bought it from America. You bought the rights to use it. It's yours. Um, while you have the deed and whatnot. But if America needs it, America can take it. And that's what happened, I think, back in the day. I think when the wall came out on Trump, the first term, he took a lot of land from people. And a lot of people that used to vote Trump hated Trump after that. And the whole argument of that scenario was basically because it was literally in their backyard. Before, when the problem was over the fence, that's whatever. And Trump's awesome. Yeah. But the second all that bullshit and drama and crap that was whatever at the moment to them, for them, it was whatever. But the second it went over the fence and was in their backyard, and next thing you know, is in the living room, and they're like, hey, I don't want this shit, but you're the one who said it's okay. But you just said how whatever Trump's awesome when it was over there, but now that it's in your house, now you don't want it. That's what happened. That's what's happening now. Watch the video at the very end of this. It's called Don't Be a Sucker. That's what Hitler did. That's why they called him Trump Hitler back in the day. And understand that even I think Hitler at the time is just a fall guy. right? He may have he may have been more influenceable. He may have been more than Trump, but at the end of the day, he still had an office. He still had people that agreed with him. It wasn't just him. There was people around him, and that's what's going on now. But instead of it being 80-20, like it was back in the day in Germany with Hitler and whatnot, we could say 80-20 or 60-40, whatever. It's more 20-80, as in, hey Trump, don't you just hate immigrants? He's like, yeah, I hate immigrants. And don't you think they should pay more? Yeah, I think they should pay more. That's what's going on, right? It's not Trump's like, oh, I hate immigrants and I think they should pay more. It's they're telling him how to feel and what to think, and then he's doing it. That's what's going on. The shadow government, the whole everything that you thought was happening with the Democrats. You're so busy trying to pin everything bad on the Democrats that you're too blind to see it happening in the Republican Party right now. Anyways, be well, be safe. I'm out of here. God bless. Be strong. Like I said, I'm more conservative than even you are, right? So, anyways, and I'm basically still a virgin, by the way. Basically, um, it's because I values and tradition to me matter more than anything. Core fundamental truths matter more than anything. That's why the middleman stuff doesn't work on me because I need to know for sure. Like I seen a debate and the guy was like, "Oh, what are your sources? What are your sources? What proof? Okay, it's a proof, but who's making the argument?" And the guy was like, "Why do you need to see my argument? It was proven. Don't you know that you need to blah blah?" And it's like it doesn't matter. What matters is you validate the validators. It's not so much that you validate their work, it's that you make sure that they ain't biased or full of shit. That they ain't drawing a conclusion that they want to find. That's what you're looking for. And you're trying to protect it because you know chances are that's what you're going to find because that's what you found, right? They came up with, or possibly um, you jumped into it because that's what you were looking for and you don't know what their reasons are. And so, because of that, you're afraid to reveal the answer because you don't know yourself. You know what I'm saying? But when there's a saying, this is the last thing I'll say before I go because I was talking too long. Last thing I'll say: the benefit of living in the truth and speaking the truth, living the truth, knowing the truth, and reciting the truth is then you don't have to remember the lie, right? And that's basically it. And what that means is, let's say I told her my name's Kevin, and I told her my name's Bob. 2 weeks later, she's like, "Hi, Kevin. Hello, Kevin. Kevin. Oh, hey. I remember. Oh, I forgot. I told her my name's Kevin. Oh, hey." And I'm talking to her, and she's like, and then Bob, Bob, and I don't remember. I remember the lie, Bob. I'm talking to her about Kevin. I'm reciting to Kevin. My real name is Dan, but I'm talking to her because I'm Kevin. And Bob in the background, and I don't remember. And then the hand, shoulder on my her hand on my shoulder. I'm like, huh? And she's like, "Bob, don't you remember me?" And then next thing you know, she's like, "What do you mean, Bob? I thought his name was Kevin." And he told me, and so, anyways, the point is, now the lie is come out, and now you got to do it that drama. Well, when you live in the truth and that's all you know and all you allow to exist ever, you don't have to worry about that lie shit ever. That's the benefit that I have, right? And the problem is that everyone else was too be. Sorry, I don't realize it's because I have the headphones on. Uh, I live with housemates, and yeah, I'm screaming essentially, but I don't realize it. I'm very passionate, but I'm very what's it called? I'm I'm passionate, but I'm kind. I'm not egotistical. I'm not arrogant. I'm not blah blah blah. Like you just sorry, my bad. Instantly back down, right? because I'm not standing on a stool. I'm not pounding my chest. I'm not claiming to be anything. All I'm doing is putting you in your place. That's it. That's all I'm doing. But anyways, when you live in the truth and you deal with the truth and that's all you live with, you don't have to worry about, what's your name? She knows. Oh, hey, what's your name? Ken. Oh, hey, Ken. And then I met her. What's your name? Oh, my name's Ken. 2 weeks later, hey, Ken. I'm like, it's that I look, oh, hey, hey. And then we're talking, we're having a good time, and here, Ken, Ken. I look, and it's like, oh, hey. Like instantly, there's no drama. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to tell you. And sorry. And one last, this is the final thing. Back in the day, they showed us gangs because they wanted us divided. They wanted us to fight. They wanted us to think, oh, that's cool. Let's do the gang stuff, the glorifying gangs. A lot of people join gangs. My brother's father died in a gang, right? Due to gang stuff. Because it was so profoundly impactful. They did it on purpose. And that's what tariffs are. That's what everything that happens, everything that they talk about, all they're trying to do is divide us. That's what the LGBTQ, that's why you get mad when you talk about gay people and blah, 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 or immigrants, and yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just, it's just ways to make you fight and ways to get you sidetracked and not paying attention, right? And you know my paper that told you about the downfall of America? The last part of that title is as told by George Carlin and I. So what I want you to do, here's your homework, right? Um, First off, after this video, you're gonna see a video pop up in the bottom corner. Should be on that side of it there, right? I want you to watch that, okay? After you're done with that, after you get your mind blasted, as Russell Peters would say, I want you to go and watch, or yeah, go look up George Carlin and some of his stand-up comedy, right? And realize he was talking a lot of truth, a lot of truth. There's a lot of truth when it came to what he's talking about. You'll learn a lot about the world from him, right? That's actually, I won't say that I got a lot of resources or references from him, but I I had those resources and references in my person, and he just kind of like second, right? Like I second the motion. I agree. I feel the same way you do, basically. Like he came to the same conclusions, essentially, right? And the thing was, he pointed it out, but in the form of comedy. And that's why I point the finger as comedy, right? Because it's just a way for you to consume it, and a way for you to know. Because if he was a historian or he did some kind of, you wouldn't pay attention to it. You don't care. You want entertainment. It's why I play games, because you won't listen otherwise. You know what I'm saying? You'll listen to me if I'm a grandmaster because that's your game, that's your hobby, that's your thing. But you need to understand that not everybody is meant for greatness. Don't waste your time in this video game if you don't have the quick twitch, for example, because everybody playing the game that's the best has the quick twitch. That, or they just have some like Trump, who was born with money and born with power and born with influence, and they use that and they benefit from that. Basically, that's what's going on, right? That's the benefit. That's the world that they get. That's how they climb. It's through them, not because they rose, but through them. In my school days, that was something I had to deal with, right? I should use a different camera too. Like when I was talking to girls, they wouldn't be interested in me or what I had to say. They wanted to know, do you have a Mustang? No. Okay, then bye. And so she's gone. But we could have been the best. You know what I'm saying? And she's giving some loser who fucks up her life, who ruins her life, and now she wants to come at me. But now she's underwater. I'm like, why the fuck would I want a ship and you crashed and your fucking beached or you sank? Why would I, as a soaring bird, want to anchor myself to that now? Right? I'm good. Right? And one day when I'm, topped off and starting to glide down, I can't go up anymore. Once I get too old, I'm top off, I can't go up anymore. Once that happens, sure, I'll settle for less. You know what I'm saying? But until then, no, I want the best. I want the very fucking best because I deserve it. I deserve the best. I'm fucking the shit. You know what I'm saying? I deserve the shit basically as a result. And then our kid will be born and he will be the shit. That's how it works. But again, they were looking for guys that had the Mustang. They were looking for guys that had the money. But the problem was those guys didn't have the Mustang. Their parents did. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they wanted. That's what they looked for. And they crashed and burned because they found it. But anyways, that's what it is. So people be happy, be safe. And again, just like Bernie Sanders and the blackout, and they shut him up. They would tell you who's in first and who was in third, but they wouldn't tell you who was in second. You know why? Because it was Bernie Sanders. That's happening to me. Like I go on Twitch, I get no traffic. The most I'll see is maybe I'll get like the person that will show up. It will be like, oh hey, go and buy viewers, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell is this? And that's all they'll come by. That's all they'll come by. Right? It's just some asshole that wants me to spend money, or hey, my headphones don't work, or do you have Discord? I want to show you some pictures. I want to sell you stuff. That's all that would come by my channel. I would never be featured. I would never be mentioned. Nothing. I get no traffic. Same thing for YouTube. So everywhere, I'm shadow banned because I speak truth to power, and the power uses these platforms, and they have control of these platforms, and they make it to where I can't climb. I get no attention, and that's where you come into play. You hit that follow button, you hit that like button, you share me with all your friends. They watch my videos, they like what I say, they do the same thing. They follow, they like it, they share with all of their friends, right? Even if it comes back and you all watch it again, that's how it works. That's what Bernie Sanders was. That's what we call grassroots, right? That's why we call it that, because that's what it is, okay? And the world controls the world, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like the rich control the world, the rich control the narrative. They pick what happens and doesn't happen. They pick what you're talking about, the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Oh, we need to silence that. Let's talk about, oh my god, lesbians and fucking blah blah blah, or this and that, or do, and we can't talk about anything with the Epstein files, right? That's what happens. That's what happened. Terrorists, oh, we just whatsoever. COVID, the same thing. There's even suspicion now that maybe 9/11 was an inside job, and the way it was handled, the way the event took place, how no one was allowed to take pictures, no one's allowed to talk about it, no one was allowed to have video, no one was allowed to blah blah blah, and it had to be deleted or you can go to prison and and those fear tactics and those scare tactics, right? That's and so people are like, damn. People were really like questioning, like, damn, what if? That's what it is, right? And then like I think Destiny, the streamer Destiny, says jacking off, just asking questions, right? I'm jacking off. I'm just asking questions, just repetitively. And the problem is when you get idiots like this guy right here, and he's asking questions then you don't hear me ask mine. And the thing is, his questions a kindergartner could answer, but mine, the best physicists, cannot. Anyways, thank you for watching. Take care. Be well. Be safe. Be awesome. Praise Allah. Praise Heaven. I'm out. Peace.